All right. So last week we talked about this new standard behind us, compare unit fractions and specify the whole by reasoning about size, and went through our deconstructed. And then Melissa found that we didn't need to do a lesson. And so we started with this one right here, the compare two fractions with the same numerator or the same denominator. And then we also wanted the students, and then we said, well, that was easy enough, and then we wanted the students to record the results of comparisons with the symbols greater than or less than. So our pre-assessment was based on those two mini sub-goal standards, comparing the two fractions and recording the results using a four-square, actually, in the application of a four-square. So are we ready to look at the results?
Sure.
Okay.
So we have a total of 32, and 32 is 64 kids. So you have 25 out of 64 at proficient.
39.
39%. And you have 8 and 5 is 13 out of 64 at close.
20%.
Okay. And then we have 26.
64.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
41%.
Thank you. That's your pre-assessment.
Melissa,
I
go.
was just going to say, for a pre-assessment after a week, it's not looking too bad.
No, that was in less than a week.
Yeah.
That was less than a week. So let's go ahead and talk about what we saw on the assessment and what I think we all launched the first round of instruction the same. So the problem was, after his football game, Miguel drank 1/2 liter of water and 1/3 liter of juice. Did Miguel drink more water or juice? Draw and estimate partition. And then we just said that was it. So it didn't have too many scalpels in it already. So Melissa, do you want to start us off with strengths or trends for anybody?
So something that a few kids struggled with was the numeric symbolic part of it. They were trying to connect to previous learning, and so they were trying to make a whole. So I had a few kids that said 1/2 plus 1/3. They were trying to combine it in one whole, even though they're comparing two different ones. So I had a small group of kids that did that. One thing that I'm trying to push the kids to, even the kids that got it right, some of them are saying Miguel drank more water than juice, and that's it. And in the past, we would have accepted that as like the complete sentence, but I'm trying to get them now to explain it and justify, not just hear where they're talking about the steps and how they solved it, but I want more information.
Okay.
So you each actually shared something that was an error or a misconception. Were there some strengths that you noticed that you wanted to build off of?
I noticed this type of question was similar to our last post-assessment, like the short little unit post-assessment, and the kids really struggled with, if we asked them to show a third in a whole, they just drew a line and filled it. They didn't justify by drawing the actual, they didn't partition it to prove it. And all of them, except two, partitioned and labeled the unit fractions to justify and prove that. So
They finally know which one goes with, when you use a number line, when you use an area model, they now have that distinguished. That's awesome, I agree with that. So can we look at our 4 papers, your exemplars, just to see if we all agreed on the same scoring?
This is not an exemplar for handwriting.
That's
But it has everything.
and mine's for handwriting, that's all he has. Okay, so this is yours.
Yeah.
And Lori, do you have yours? So can we agree on one that we can show the kids that this is what we're expecting in a 4-square, even though we know we still have to intervene on some parts? So let's look first at the visual representation.
Yeah, mine was really simple. It just was the basics. He didn't use a number bond, which I've been telling the kids they could use one if it makes sense with the story problem. If not, so
It's basically kind of the same, but it was an activity that we could play with and use, so they could turn it both ways. And they could see that, you know, that the greater than, less than flips. I also had the generalization here, which I'm now going to have to change.
Well, no, you want to leave it up
Well, I'll
with
leave
this
it,
type
yes.
of problem, and then now you can do another one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that was the one that
I do like the little
they
wheel.
liked that. Yeah, they had fun with
That's
that.
fun.
One of the key things that I saw you do, which I think was critical in this My Favorite No, is when you have the kids standing up there to do comparing, you actually took that back to the vocabulary in the problem. Did it ask you to all together? Am I asking
here.
you how many students are up here? Exactly.
your keyword.
And she circled that, and so they got to not only the comparison of, we're not putting these two children together, we're comparing, and let's go back to the language we know about, what language we should see if we are adding or subtracting, and what language is here. So
This is the key word, more. So something we're seeing is that they can say they can state the generalization, but are they answering the question? And the question is, who did he drink more water or juice? So somehow teach that last piece of go back into the question and turn it into an answer.
Right.
Do you guys agree with them?
Absolutely.
I would also
highlight the question, rephrase it.
go back and answer the question, but then also in your exemplar, what you were selecting is not just the student who's kind of rotely following the sample frame that you put in there with first, next, then finally, but actually went back and made a statement, not just I did this, I did this, I did this, but actually made a justification statement,
Exactly.
which is in addition to the answering the question. So I know that Miguel drank more juice than water because 1/2 is greater than 1/3.
Exactly.
So we need to add another little arrow to our rubric and put that at the end. Your answer in a complete sentence with justification. So we would say Miguel, or I know Miguel drank.
Are we ready to start a new frame? I know.
Sure.
Okay, I think that would be good. I know that. Okay.
Blank,
Blank.
and that would be
Oh,
where
we're
you
doing a
answer the
general one.
question.
Okay.
This is so that we all answer it in the same way.
Yep.
Okay, so I know that.
Blank, and then because, and then we just write justify after that, so they know that.
Okay, here's what we're expecting. Okay, so this is important. I'll write nicely.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes.
Finally, and I know that 4th grade also would like more detailed answers. This will be great. Finally, I know that Miguel drank more water than juice because 1/2 is that where this is where we need to agree. 1/2 is greater than 1/3.
1/2 cup of water is
Okay.
greater than
Because 1/2
Liter.
liter. Yeah,
Let's
sorry.
1/2 liter.
Yes, that's
Yes,
what
it
was
was
in your
liter,
problem.
yeah. Sorry.
1/2 liter
Of water.
of water is greater than, what's the other one?
1/3 liter of juice.
1/3 liter of juice. Okay, so I'm gonna underline the actual frame in here.
Okay.
And then you guys will know that that's where I know that this is the blank because, and then this is their justification right here. I know that
That part becomes the generalization.
right here. Next, so we would give this by Monday. Monday,
So we
Lori.
can have it by Wednesday.
Monday.
Yes. Oh, yeah. You'll have it by the end of the day today.
This one?
No, just the
Oh,
draft.
got it.
The copy.
Thank you.
So that gives us, what day is it today?
Yeah, I won't give
Wednesday,
it,
Thursday, Friday, 2 days. Can we teach that in
To
2
teach
days?
that and then give the post on Monday.
Uh-huh. Or do we move
Well,
it to
I'm already
Tuesday?
planned out for today, so I would have.
Let's move this to Tuesday.
Okay.
So it gives us 3 days of instruction. That's good.
Your current total percent was at 39 at proficient, so moving another 50% puts you at 89%. That's huge
That is.
percentage. So
89%?
it would be 89% if you meet this goal, because you're
That would be
already
our
at
biggest goal.
39.
It would be.
We've only hit 75.
You started out with a really good sizable chunk, though, with the 39% because of
Ready?
your past
think we can
instruction
do it.
got them
Yeah,
here.
we can do it.